Yeah. I'd like to welcome everybody to my podcast, man. I am your gracious host, like Kiss would say, Jupiter 9. And today's podcast, man, we're going to get into it. Are you ready for life without cash, man? Are you ready for the cashless society we're heading into, guys? Are you ready? Are you prepared? Are you prepared for the collapse of the fiat currency, the dollar bill? Are you ready? Are you prepared? You know what I mean? We're going to talk about this in this podcast episode. Cashless society, man. The collapse of the dollar bill and how you need to prepare for it. So let's talk about it. So gradually, over time, we have been getting accustomed to, debit cards, credit cards, now more than ever. Gradually over time, they have slowly got people off the physical dollar. You know what I'm saying? And that was all done by design, I believe. Over time, gradually, you've seen it coming. At one point in time, it was hard to get a credit card, a MasterCard, a Visa card. Like, only selective type of people had those type of things back in the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up, people who, were middle class and wealthy only had credit cards. People who didn't really have money couldn't get access to credit and credit cards and debit cards. Like, you had to have some bread in order to get those things now. But these corporations, these banks, the banking institutions, seeing a way to make even more money off you than what they do already with the high interest rates on some of these credit cards, and how they trick you into these promissory notes and with mortgages and car loans and all the trickery that these banks do. They're finally getting people where they want them. You know what I'm saying? And they want people off the physical money. You know what I'm saying? Which is not backed by anything. And I think everybody knows that at this point, that is backed by your time and effort and your energy as Americans. That's the money is backed by you, the Americans. It's not backed by anything of not saying that Americans don't have value. Everybody has value, but I mean, at one point in time, the money was backed by, gold and silver. And this is why Lincoln's no longer here, because they blew his top off, because Lincoln was trying to get the greenbacks, into circulation. You know what I mean? And that would have been competition with, the international bankers. That's why they had to take Lincoln out. And, they tried to make it say because, he stopped slavery and this, that, and third. All lies. Most of your history is lies that you learned in school. You know what I'm saying? It's all lies. You know what I mean? And the same thing with JFK. They blew his top off. You know what I'm saying? Because, he wanted to back a currency that was, backed by silver, and, once he started putting those in circulation towards the end of 1963 and 64, just out of the blue, they blew his top off. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, but it all lines up. If you follow the dates, it all lines up. Soon after Lincoln was assassinated, they stopped the production of the money that was backed by the silver. I think JFK signed Executive Order 11101 or something like that. I can't remember what executive order it was, but yeah, to put the power back into the people's hands, as far as like, the currency being backed by silver. So they had to get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't have that, because then they wouldn't control what supply of the money would be in circulation, because you had to have a certain amount of silver to back up the amount that you're printing out into circulation. And those the international bankers and all those cats who run the Federal Reserve, they couldn't have that. You know what I'm saying? They can't have that. And this is why, each time a president tries to step up to the plate and change shit, they try to get him out of there quick as possible. And the two presidents that I know of that tried to, have a currency backed by the United States of America, which is the land, are Lincoln and JFK. You know what I'm saying? So over time, like I've read this stuff. I read this stuff in PDFs and books and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? How they wanted to get people off the gold standard, how they over time they want to get people off the money that's backed by something. But now it looks like everything is going full circle, and countries that are dealing with the petrodollar, you know what I'm saying, that have to trade the commodities. In order to buy these commodities, they have to deal with the petrodollar, you know what I'm saying, are dumping the dollar now, so over time, like I said, they slowly got people off the physical money. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not done by accident, and crypto is not an accident. You know what I'm saying? They always wanted people off into their own money system. You know what I mean? And that is coming to fruition now with cryptocurrency. And you guys had to know that they weren't going to let this cryptocurrency thing just be a decentralized way to trade for goods and services, and the bankers don't get a cut. You got to be kidding me. Like, if you don't think that they weren't going to get a cut into this crypto space, this crypto world, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had to been joking. Like, they were going to find ways to, control it. And now that they have everybody where they have them, everybody being dependent on credit cards, and you see all these credit card companies now giving 1% back, 5% back, you know what I'm saying? To not only to force you into the credit card, but to, force you to not even think about using physical money anymore, because why the hell would you want to use money in this system now that, when you spend with the credit card, you're getting 1% back, 2% back. Why would you want to use physical money to purchase anything anymore? And not only that, it's going to help you with your credit score. You dig what I'm saying? If you keep your payments on time. So why would anybody want to use physical money? So this was the plan all along. They gradually, thinned out everything, starting with the automobiles, you know what I'm saying? They started off with the cars. At one point in time, cars were made out of solid metal, you know what I'm saying, that lasts a long time. Things were made to last. A lot of our production was made in America to last, you know what I'm saying? We produce most of the goods and services that, we bought. We not only produce for us, for other countries as well. Now the tables have turned where China is producing everything. You know what I'm saying? All your goods and services, and all these other countries, you know what I'm saying? Taiwan and all these other countries are producing all of our goods and services. But yeah, people say, that these things are cheaper, but the quality is way less. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can buy a pair of headphones today, and those things will probably last 2 weeks before they break. You buy all this stuff, it's cheap, it's made in China, and not knocking China, you know what I'm saying? They got to do what they got to do to keep their economy moving. We're so much in debt to countries like China, the UK, you know what I'm saying? That, we don't have no choice. Our hand is forced. So they gradually got us off the money. First, they started off with, getting us off the gold standard. And this is even before 1933. You know what I'm saying? They had this plan in place. This should go way the fuck back, man. This should go way the fuck back. I believe this shit goes back way back since the 1600s that had this in place, 1700s, man. I forgot what book I read. It was a PDF. I forgot the name of it, but really good. I didn't finish reading all of it, but what I read, I also read too the what's the other book I read? The Money Creators. Yeah, that's another one on how they stage these events to snatch up people's property, because nobody owns anything in America. You know what I'm saying? Everything's owned by the bankers. You know what I mean? And the bankers are connected to, you know what I'm saying, the Queen of England. Man, the Queen of England, man, this shit go way back, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit go way back. People thinking these events happen on purpose, with, COVID and all that stuff. This stuff is not happening naturally. They're creating these things, you know what I'm saying, to put everybody into a frenzy of panic and, killing everybody's jobs to where they can't pay for nothing. Then the bankers come and, people with big pockets come and just buy up everything and leave you left in the dirt as an American. You know what I mean? So this was the plan all along. They gradually had to get us off like I said, the gold standard. You know what I mean? Because gold, that's the money from the earth. You know what I'm saying? Gold, silver, copper. These are elements, money from the earth, money from God. And they had to get people off that, you know what I'm saying? Because they wouldn't be able to print out money the way they do at the rate that they do. They're just printing money, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, in order for when we were on the gold standard, when we were on the gold standard, you had to have the gold in reserve in order to be able to print out the money into circulation. And that put a cap on a lot of people's pockets. You couldn't have billionaires and trillionaires, when the money was backed by gold. The much you can be is probably a millionaire because you had to have the gold in reserve. And word is the gold that's supposed to be in reserve under, New York, the new Twin Towers or something like that. That was the reason why they knocked down the towers, allegedly. I don't know. That's the word, is that, they want the gold. They want the money because they owe so many countries, old countries, so much money, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have the gold to back it up, so they knocked down the towers. That's allegedly, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, are you ready for life in a cashless society, guys? Are you prepared to, live life in a cashless society? Because people think that once they make the switch over from physical to digital, that there won't be chaos in the street, that it won't be people losing their life, there won't be people freaking out, killing themselves, killing people for the things that they have. Are you prepared? Do you know that 80% of the population in America is not preparing for the collapse of the dollar? Just look at what's going on. First, look at what happened to the Zimbabwe dollar and what happened to those people in Zimbabwe. How, the dollar went worthless, had all the money in the street, and people a barrel of money couldn't even buy a loaf of bread. That's what's going to happen in America. The same thing is going on in Venezuela. It happened probably around 6 months ago, almost a year. Their money became worthless. People lost confidence in the Venezuela currency, and now people are hunting for gold in order to buy food, get haircuts, buy clothes, and shelter, because the money is worthless in Venezuela. So fiat money has a time span on it. It doesn't last forever. This was another thing people don't get. The money doesn't last forever. Other countries are dumping the dollar and going to a digital currency that's backed by gold. I forgot the countries that are actually doing that at this moment. I think one of the countries is India. It's India. And India, I can't remember the other country, but I think one of the countries is India. they are moving forward with a gold-backed cryptocurrency in their country. So that's where the world is going to. Is going to a digital currency, and you got a lot of these supposed experts on TV saying that crypto is dead. It's not gonna rebound, and don't put your faith in cryptocurrency. These people don't want you to buy it because they don't want you to become wealthy. You know what I'm saying? And if you play your cards right with cryptocurrency, you could become wealthy. People are still becoming wealthy right now when the market is in the bear market. Right now, people are making crap loads of money off of cryptocurrency. Yes, cryptocurrency is volatile, very volatile, but if you have patience and the key with cryptocurrency, I believe, and because I'm an investor in cryptocurrency, you know what I'm saying, is patience. And I've made a couple mistakes along the way of dealing with cryptocurrency, thinking, I had Litecoin when it was down to $20-something. And I knew Litecoin was going to go up. And I ended up switching into trading in for another crypto that I thought was going to go up, and it didn't. And now Litecoin is almost $100. And I can sit here and say that, I blew it. I definitely blew it. But are you getting prepared for the crash of the dollar? Now, I know people have been saying this for years, that the dollar's going to crash and then move into another currency. Well, people, listen, they are actually blatantly saying out in public, the people who run the banking system, that they're moving to a digital asset. So are you ready for the death of the dollar? You know what I'm saying? The things you need to be doing, that I would be doing, you know what I'm saying, getting prepared for this, is, buying physical gold and silver. Why do you want physical gold and silver if we're going to be switching to a digital currency? First off, gold and silver it's always going to be money. No matter what country you go to, what part of the world, you can take gold and silver and people know it's money. No matter what type of thing we're using to trade for goods and services, you can take gold or silver to any country in the world and they know it's money. Another thing, gold and silver holds its purchasing power. What I mean by that is you keep your money in a savings account, which is cool. You don't put all your money in your eggs in one basket, but you need to diversify right now and get your money. If you got money in the bank, and I'm not no financial advisor or nothing like that, I'm just here to tell you what I will be doing at this moment while you still have time, while cryptocurrency is still cheap. What I would be doing is diversify, have some stocks. You know what I'm saying? Invest in Amazon. Amazon is moving to healthcare. Invest in Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Got tons of cryptos out there, but if you're new to cryptocurrency, I would start off with Robinhood. It gives you a small list, and you can pick from, you can get Bitcoin, you can get Ethereum on Robinhood, you can get XRP on Robinhood, XLM on Robinhood, and right now XLM is very cheap, and I think it's like 9 cents, almost 10 cents, and XRP is still under what I think today it was under 40 cents. So you go on Robinhood. Not only that, your commission fees for purchasing crypto on Robinhood are free. So you can play around with the market on Robinhood and not lose a lot of money if you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But I would be diversifying. I would have some money in stocks. I would have some money in cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? I would have some money in gold and silver. I also would have some physical cash put away too as well. You know what I'm saying? Having some physical cash, so that, if the banks do call a bank holiday, which they did in the past, you know what I'm saying? And what a bank holiday is when the banks just shut down and you can't get no money. And you see that happening with a bunch of banks. People have money in Bank of America, and Bank of America is taking their money. You know what I mean? That's purposely done. You know what I'm saying? And people can't get money out of the ATMs in a lot of places. So you got to be prepared. You got to have all your avenues covered. You got to have some physical gold and silver. You got to have some physical money. You know what I'm saying? You got to diversify. You got to have some cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? In certain currencies, certain projects that are stable. I wouldn't mess with the meme coins at this moment right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. I would stick with projects, that are solid, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know what I'm saying? Solid projects that have been around, Litecoin, projects like that, you know what I'm saying? I would even look into XRP. I'm not on the whole XRP bandwagon. Everybody thinks it's going to go to the moon, which it possibly could. But, XLM, I'm invested in them as well. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of cryptos that you can look into. Sushi Swap is another one that's been around for a minute. Cardano is another one. But like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. You're going to have to do your own diligent research on these things. Go on YouTube, read articles, stay up to date. The thing with cryptocurrency people don't understand is that you got to stay on top of it daily, because everything is moving so fast. The world is changing, and you got to change with the world. You know what I'm saying? We're in a time where we got information at our fingertips. You got the internet, you know what I'm saying? People didn't have this back in, when the Great Depression was around. They didn't have the internet to warn them to be prepared for the Great Depression. And that's why so many people suffer, because they didn't have the tool like the internet. So people need to utilize the internet more than just entertainment. You need to utilize it to stay on top of certain markets financially, the housing market, the stock market, cryptocurrency, gold and silver. Like, you need to stay on top of these things and see where the world is turning. And where the world is turning now is digital. Everything's going digital, man. And you can see that, they had these plans for all along, because you would see these type of things in movies and thought it was just some fairy tale stuff that they made up. And you starting to realize, like, a lot of this stuff they put in movies is not some shit that they made up out of the sky. And, all of a sudden, wow, it appeared. You used to see all this wild stuff, in cartoons like the Jetsons. You've seen a lot of this stuff in the movie Back to the Future, and how they had flying cars, and they had TVs where you can talk to person to person like you do now. Like, all this stuff was in movies, and all types of movies, Doom movies and stuff like that. So always pay attention to, like, cartoons. Definitely The Simpsons. They put a lot of stuff in The Simpsons to give you warning. They have to give you warning, but they can't give you blatant warning to where you think, know what I'm saying? They can't give you straightforward warning. They have to give you like a subliminal warning before they do it, because it's called karma, and that karma will come back on them if they don't give you warning. You know what I mean? But you guys have to be prepared. Also, too, have the simple stuff in your house, candles, lighters, you know what I'm saying? And if you can afford it, a generator, you might want to get a solar generator instead of a gas generator. Just be prepared. Have extra, dry food, canned food, stuff like that, just in case people make a run on the grocery stores like they did when COVID first hit and everybody made a run on toilet paper. You know what I mean? So you want to just be prepared. Just be prepared. Be prepared for the worst. I'm hoping the worst don't happen, but be prepared for the worst, guys. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things I would do to get prepared for, the collapse of the dollar. If you got the extra bread, pay your rent up for 6 months. Pay all your bills up for like 6 months, just in case, all the blinks closed down. Your rent's paid up for 6 months, and then you can take action from there. You know what I mean? Because the world is moving fast. A lot of things are going on, and things are moving so fast. Information is coming out so fast. It's hard to keep up with it. So You got to try your best to stay on top of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? To see what direction that they're taking everything, because at the end of the day, nobody's self-sufficient. And, just think about, people make fun of Amish people, but, I'm quite sure the Amish don't have to worry about none of this because they're not part of the matrix like we are. So those are the things I will be doing, guys, to get prepared for the fall of the dollar, because it's coming. It's coming. America is not exempt to, what's going on in other countries, what's going on in Venezuela, you know what I'm saying? And these other countries where their money system is collapsing. America is not exempt. We're right around the corner. You know what I mean? We're right around the corner. We're so much in debt, $1 trillion in debt, and there's no way to pay that back. This is why your money's going missing in the bank. You know what I'm saying? This is why your money going missing in the bank. And then if I were you, I wouldn't keep much money in the bank, just enough to keep my bills paid until you figure out your next move, guys. You know what I'm saying? But another thing too is you're gonna have to get you a side hustle, yo. You know what I'm saying? You have to get a side hustle, learn how to build websites, learn a gig, learn how to become an affiliate marketer. You're gonna have to find another way to make money, because a 9-to-5 is not gonna cut it no more. They have a full operating McDonald's that's non-human, fully operating just on robots. So what does that tell you what direction they're going in? So you're gonna have to find other ways, podcasting, getting you a YouTube channel, of selling candles on Facebook, something to bring revenue in to your household outside of a job. The 9-to-5 is pretty much over with. You're going to do something. Like me personally, I invest. I'm trying to learn how to option trade now. I want to get into tax liens, real estate, stuff like that. I do a little bit of affiliate marketing. I do a little bit of. I also started a t-shirt website as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to get in all avenues. Like I'm gonna also start looking into drop shipping on Amazon as well. Yeah, I'm trying to I can't just rely on the 9-to-5 like that. Like, know what I mean? I just gotta keep moving, keep learning. Try to stay on top of this stuff because it's about to get real in a minute. Things are collapsing. They're trying to slow the collapse, but like I said, as far as the financial system in America, it's done. It's done. This system is done, and they got to implement a honest system that's backed by like some tangible assets. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens in the next 6 months. But me personally, I would be doing these things to get prepared for the new system that's coming in. So guys, get prepared. If you don't have the finances to do what you can. If you only got enough money to get extra canned goods, food, then do that, because you can always barter and trade with food. You know what I'm saying? You can always barter and trade with food. So, you still can do something, get you some firearms and stuff like that to protect yourself. Because we living in some crazy times, and things are changing fast, and nature is changing. Our scenery is changing. People are seeing 2 suns in the sky now. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are changing fast. The earth is heating up. You don't even have winters anymore like they used to. Everything is changing, guys. So you have to change with the earth. You have to change with the system. You have to stay on top of these things. So that is my take, guys, in this podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Yo, please share this episode with many people as you can, family, friends, whoever. I highly appreciate it. And also follow me, man, in Acast, man. Follow me in Acast. My podcast, my podcast name is Jupiter 9, but I am your gracious host, and I would like to say I'm your gracious host, Jupiter Knight, and I'd like to say peace and love to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and love. Take care. One.